Hey, what's up everyone? I am Torvald Uruz, and for today's video, I want to go over a bunch of T5 fits I've been using that I feel pretty confident with. I won't be going too in-depth with how to actually run these fits. This is more of an overview. To find the individual video guides for these fits, you can find them in the description below. In this video, I'll be going over a T5 Gamma Gila, a T5 Electrical Stormbringer, a T5 Exotic Gila, and a T5 Firestorm Ikitursa. These are 4 fits that I've been using pretty consistently, and they're all really reliable, so I wanted to share all these with you guys. I really enjoy having 4 different weathers to run. That way I don't have to rely on having one single filament and keeping that one filament supplied, because as I run these T5s, I'll accrue more of these filaments, and I'll never have to really worry about running out of them. If you have any questions about these fits, drop it in the comment section below, and don't forget to join the in-game channel Abyssal Lurkers, as well as the Discord, which you can find the link to the Discord in the description or the MOTD of the in-game channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first fit here that I want to show y'all. This is the T5 Gamma Gila. And yes, you are not crazy, this is a mixture of active tank and passive regenerating for gamma sites. You'll notice the Nirvana implant set, which is something that's pretty cool about this, is I use these same implants for the T5 Gamma Gila, the T5 Exotic Gila, and the T5 Electrical Stormbringer. Even though it's not the most effective for using them with the Stormbringer, it still works that way. You don't have to jump in and out of different pods. If you're going to use the Stormbringer and only the Stormbringer, you can switch to crystals, obviously. And again, you can find more detail about that in the video in the description below about the T5 Electrical Stormbringer. This Gamma Gila is really easy to use. The only issue I've ever had with it was getting myself capped out because I was running my modules, the shield and the afterburner, unnecessarily. I didn't let my cap regenerate, and I went to another room with a bunch of null charges, and I ended up getting capped out and died. So as long as you're paying attention to that, you should be good. But I run this one pretty consistently. I have 0 issues with it. Nice, easy, chill T5 runner. I would say out of all the fits in this video, this one is the easiest and smoothest. So if you're only going to run one and you only want to focus on one, go with this one. Gamma filaments aren't too expensive, and this Gila, not relying on that passive regen, but having both passive and the active regenerating makes it kind of the smoothest ride. I really don't have any issues with this thing other than just paying attention to your capacitor. Any of the Triglavian spawns you run to are pretty easy because you're running gammas and you're firing explosive damage into them, so they melt a lot quicker than you would imagine. All right, next up is the T5 Electrical Stormbringer. This one is a little bit controversial because it does have guaranteed kill rooms, but the odds of getting those is kind of slim, so as long as you run enough, you'll become ISK positive, and it's a really easy ship to run. So as I said earlier, yes, I am using Nirvanas with this fit. If you're only running the Stormbringer, you should be running crystals, but if you're doing this setup, you don't want to have the same implants for all the different ships. Nirvanas, you won't fail. The tank on this thing is incredible, and it'll hold up to basically anything you come up against. One of the downfalls to this fit is the cost of it, and the cost of the ammo, and the cost of the filaments. All of it's pretty pricey, but it is a really easy ship to run. Some of you aren't going to like this one, but this is a fully passive regenerating T5 Exotic Gila. When I was first shown this fit, I thought there is no way that thing is working, but it does really well in T5 Exotics. This one's really easy to run, just like the T5 Gamma Gila. I don't know which one's easier. They're both pretty simple, but this one is absolutely brainless because the only thing you need to worry about turning on is the afterburner. One thing to note is that the Nirvanas are absolutely mandatory for this fit to work. Also, do not try and run gammas with this. This thing's DPS is not high enough to successfully complete all variations of gamma sites. The only issue I've ever had with this fit is just it's gotten close on Cribitus Tyrannos before because I wasn't paying attention to my transversal. So when you're flying this, actually think about piloting and mitigating damage. Newts are no problem with this thing. Obviously, you don't need any capacitor to run anything except for your afterburner, so you don't really have to worry about getting neuted out. Alright, and for the last ship of the video, this is the T5 Firestorm Ikitursa. Out of all the fits in this video, this one is the best to run because Firestorms are the cheapest. However, out of these fits, this one is the toughest to run. The Ikitursa is opposite of the Stormbringer. It excels in rooms where there's battleships, one single target where you can build up your damage because of the ramped up damage. However, the flip side of that, you're going to really struggle in rooms with multiple targets because your average DPS will be lower due to the fact that you're switching targets around. As you can see here in the video, I get over 1,000 DPS on Cribitus Tyrannos. However, that is not the average DPS because it takes time to build up to that. The DPS on these battleships, once you get ramped up, is pretty awesome, but in rooms where you have a lot of Triglavians, such as Kikimoras or anything like that, or a bunch of small targets, your average DPS is much lower. I mean, we're talking like 500 DPS in those rooms, so that's where this thing kind of struggles. I will be completely honest, I've lost this ship a few times just due to being complacent and not really paying attention to targets and distance and what I'm doing. So if you're flying this one, you got to be a little bit more on your A game with it compared to something like a Gila. If you're not attacking the right targets, if you're letting them get out of range, you're not building up that damage and just taking targets out, you're going to have some time troubles with this thing. So there you have it. Those are my 4 favorite T5 runners. I switch back and forth depending on what I feel like or which filament I have a lot of. It's really nice having some variety and being able to run different weathers. That way I'm not relying on one single weather and just farming that same filament over and over. Again, I have in-depth guides on all of these fits in the description below, as well as the Eve Workbench link. So if you want to go to Eve Workbench and get the fits directly off there, it makes it easier to import it in the game. Check those out. So try these out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the Abyss.